These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
I'm Jordan Bonke with your afternoon update from the ABC15 Arizona newsroom. ABC15 is staying on top of some breaking news that we first brought you this morning as MCSO investigates a deadly shooting involving deputies. So we're told this began as a hit-and-run investigation on the US 60. Deputies got a call from a family member saying someone in their home was involved in that crash and they were making threats. So deputies tell us that they caught up with the man at the Guadalupe Town Hall and say that the man was armed but refused to follow commands. And that's when the two deputies opened fire. We know the investigation will be lasting for several hours and the road in that area, Mercado, will be closed. And as we continue to track the latest on that tragic flooding disaster in Central Texas, ABC 15 is checking back in with a Phoenix firefighter helping with the now search and rescue team joining hundreds of first responders in Kirk County. Arizona Task Force 1 has been in the region for several days using search dogs and providing support. They also brought crucial equipment. These are boats, engines, and other tools for a mission like this.
President Donald Trump is promising a, quote, major announcement involving Russia this week, perhaps as early as today. So what might it be, and how may it impact the conflict between Russia and Ukraine?
I am very disappointed with President Putin. I thought he was somebody that meant what he said, and he'll talk so beautifully, and then he'll bomb people at night. We don't like that.
Sunday night, President Trump once again criticized Russian President Vladimir Putin over the conflict in Ukraine, a sharp departure from the manner in which President Trump would talk about the Russian leader earlier this year. This week, President Trump is expected to meet with the Secretary of NATO in Washington. And on Sunday, President Trump announced the U.S. would soon be giving Patriot missiles to Ukraine to help fight off Russia. The conflict in Eastern Europe has intensified in recent weeks. The United Nations reports that June saw the worst casualties in Ukraine in nearly 3 years. On Capitol Hill this week, lawmakers continue to wait and see if President Trump will endorse a bipartisan plan to sanction Russia. One idea includes using frozen Russian assets to help Ukraine buy military equipment. Another idea here on Capitol Hill is to penalize countries that are buying Russian energy, although that is a slippery slope because that could potentially mean harming some allies of the United States. Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.
In the meantime, those tariffs that we told you about a while ago on Mexican tomatoes, well, they're set to begin today. ABC 15's Adam Mincer dove deeper into this topic. It's about a week ago. The U.S. pulls out of 3 decades-old tomato price agreement with Mexico. Multiple Republican lawmakers from Arizona urging the president to reverse course on this action, saying that it would hurt small businesses and the Arizona economy. Without the agreement, the U.S. will now have a 21% tariff on Mexican tomatoes. And that next letter, the physical letter that you send, may cost you a little bit more. So the federal government is raising the price of forever stamps, increasing by 5 cents, once 73 cents, now 78 cents. Switching gears now in the state of education, the countdown begins for several school districts across the valley as students get ready to start the school year as early as this week. Enjoy the summer while you can. So on Wednesday and Thursday, Chandler, Florence, Apache Junction, and Higley districts will start the new school year. And next week, Casa Grande Unified, Queen Creek, and J.O. Combs districts will start on Monday. Enjoy the summer while you can and have a great first day back to school.
Tracking your most accurate forecast on this Monday, I'm meteorologist Jorge Torres. Another hot start to the weekend, mostly dry, although this evening we have included a slight chance of a monsoon shower in the valley. Temperature starting off this morning in the lower 90s, 102 at midday, and calling for a high just shy of 110, only 109. That's still above normal for this time of year. Northern Arizona, high staying in the upper 80s in Flagstaff, lower 90s there in Heber and Payson too. Western Arizona, we're forecasting highs well above 110 for areas like Lake Havasu City and Bullhead City too. In fact, Bullhead City will be under an extreme heat warning later on today, with temperatures ranging from 110 to 120 along the Colorado, and an extreme heat warning through Wednesday for parts of the Grand Canyon below 4,000 feet. And we do have a slight chance for a few storms, mainly along and east of the 17, with a better chance for severe storms in southeastern Arizona today. Your 7-day forecast showing a cooling trend with the monsoon storm chances going up each and every day. In fact, in the high country, storm chances on Thursday at 70% with highs only in the 70s.
We'll have another update tonight. Until then, you can get the latest news, weather, and traffic at ABC15.com or downloading the always free ABC 15 mobile app. Happy Monday.
These latest headlines from ABC 15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.